Tori here. It is my great pleasure to introduce you to my brand new YouTube channel, Mugglewatch Weekly. Here's a little bit of background on how it happened. As most of you don't know, I used to spend countless hours running around outside and playing Pokemon Go. And I know your question is, what's a grown man doing playing Pokemon Go? Well, first off, there's several thousand of us out there. Second off, basically when I grew up, Pokemon Go was the game to have. I had all the console games, N64, all the Game Boy games. I played the trading card game. I watched the television show. I collected the foils, the whole shebang. And, you know, the dream in all of our minds was, well, what if Pokemon could be real? What if Pokemon actually existed in society and were out in the real world? Well, fast forward 15 years, and here we are. You know, I play Pokemon Go with my daughter. She and I run around the house catching Pokemon. We go on walks. And I can actually admit it, yes, my 4-year-old does know how to catch a Pikachu. So basically, I've been following all the main YouTubers that play Pokemon Go. There's Mystic7, there's Trainer Tips Nick, even Ali A and Lachlan whenever they used to. Trainer Tips Nick is definitely my main inspiration. He's the one I've been following for most of the time. And he's the one who actually gave me the idea to start this channel. Back a few months ago, he gave the advice for anyone who wanted to start their own channel about Harry Potter when it was coming out. And then a few months later, Warner Brothers actually dropped the trailer for the new Harry Potter Wizards Unite game, and then he actually came back and gave even further detailed advice on how it would be best to do that, to create your own channel and do it several months in advance. That way you'll have a good follower count by the time the game actually came out. And just immediately my mind was blown. You know, just like Pokemon Go as a kid, or I'm sorry, Pokemon as a kid, Harry Potter came out when I was a kid as well. I started reading the first book when I was in 3rd grade, and then I immediately caught up to everything J.K. Rowling had written. I actually was 11 when the first movie came out. And so I grew up with Daniel and Emma and Rupert, and that was just my life. I was obsessed with everything Harry Potter. When the last book actually came out, I was 17 years old. I was heading out to a mission trip in Colorado. I bought it at midnight the night before, and my mom came in, and she's like, hey, don't read past 3 in the morning. You've got a 5:45 flight to get to. And of course, I read till 3, cut it off. I read in the airport. I spent every single night during the mission trip in the hallway while everyone else was sleeping. I had to catch up on Harry Potter. I had to know how it ended. And so that was that's how obsessed I was with Harry Potter. It's been a huge part of my life. And so when I found out that the virtual reality game was coming out, my first thoughts were, okay, not really sure that's my thing. I didn't know if I had the skill set, the creativity, or the time to actually start or develop a YouTube channel. And, with all the things, just like intro music and everything and all the editing and the cool backgrounds and the photos up and I just didn't know if that was something I had enough in me to take on. Once I realized it was Warner Brothers and Portkey Games with Niantic making a platform similar to Pokemon Go, I was just like, all right, I at least have to give it a try. So like most of you, I'm sure, I live on Pottermore. I went on there, I checked everything out, I got sorted into Gryffindor, obviously. So for all of you Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff fans out there, sorry, I'm a Gryffindor, I always have been. I've always related to that part of Harry Potter. I mean, Harry himself was in Gryffindor, so that's just always pulled me. I got my wand, I got my Patronus. We'll go into those in another video, but my wand was kind of rare, and my Patronus was actually very surprising. But I'm not going to question it because it's an online website telling me what my spirit animal is, so who can question that, right? I took the time on Pottermore to go over all 100 of those virtual spots on the Hogwarts blueprint layout. It took me about 15 different virtual tours to go through that. I'm happy to have a video on that in the future if anyone wants to walk through and find them all, but I'm sure there's already tons of tutorials online. Needless to say, I am a huge Harry Potter nerd. Like, I love checking everything out on Pottermore. Back to Trainer Tips Nick, like, he just truly was an inspiration to me, and I'd love to have a channel like his. His content is amazing. His videos are seamless. The flow, the editing, the intro music, and basically most of his videos are just him traveling all over the world, recording his content, but while he's traveling, he's enveloping himself in the culture of all those different countries and people, and he's sharing that with us. He's sharing the world with those of us who don't have the time or money to travel, and we get to see all these amazing videos, and just the way he does everything it's awesome, and I'm hoping to adapt that into my videos as well someday. I know it's going to take a lot of time and growth on my part, but I'm willing to dedicate that time to you all as long as that's something you're interested in. He's definitely been my inspiration for starting this channel, though. And so when the game does come out, I hope we started off like you would imagine, an 11-year-old wizard going to Harry Potter world, going to Diagon Alley, getting our wands, getting sorted into our appropriate houses, and then just exploring the world of Harry Potter together. I'm not sure how immersive the app is going to be. Right now it's all conjecture, but I'm assuming it's going to be running around in the wild, hitting specific hotspots, meeting up with friends, going out to battle different creatures, finding creatures, battling evil wizards and such, of course. I'm hoping that we'll be able to go out and find like a unicorn foal. They're pure gold, and they actually don't mind boys like the adults do. That'd be really cool. I'd love to meet a Hungarian horntail or a Norwegian ridgeback out there. Let's just hope we have a group that's large enough to handle that, of course. And just battling some evil wizards, right? I'll definitely be doing a tutorial on the app once I figure out how to play. Because if you're like me, that's how I started Pokemon Go. I went online and I figured out how's the best way to play this app. And so, once I learn how to do it, I'll definitely be happy to share that with all of you. And I'd be honored if you'd follow me along the way as we learn how to play the game together. I'm from the St. Louis area, so I'll be trying to do my best to organize St. Louis meetups and raid battles, kind of like how Pokemon Go has. I'm hoping that's what Harry Potter World will have. In addition to that, I'll be trying to coordinate local trivia nights and little events. One of my favorite things to do is find a local trivia, Harry Potter trivia, and just go out there and have fun. Over the years, I have read all the books and watched all the movies countless times, to say the least. And there's nothing I love more than going out and sharing a beverage with a friend, supporting your favorite character, putting on your Harry Potter costumes, and just having a blast, trading trivia questions back and forth. One of my favorite ones to drop on everyone who comes up and says, oh, I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, I know everything. My first question is always, okay, who were the first 6 students sorted into Harry Potter in the first book? And don't go online and look right now. Like, be true and be honest and try to think of them. I'll give you a clue. The first 6 go Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, and Slytherin. And so it's actually Hannah Abbott from Hufflepuff, Susan Bones from Hufflepuff, Terry Boot from Ravenclaw, Mandy Brocklehurst from Ravenclaw. Then there's Lavender Brown from Gryffindor and Millicent Bulstrode from Slytherin. And just to throw it a little extra out there, the last student sorted in Harry's first year is Blaise Zabini from Slytherin. Oh, and I also forgot to add, for those of you who haven't seen Harry Potter and you don't know anything about the Harry Potter world, I'm just going to say it right now, spoiler alert. For anything future that we talk about, it's going to get very deep into the different things that happen in the Harry Potter world, whether it's the movies, the books, the games, Pottermore. So, stop right here if you haven't read it yet or haven't really immersed yourself in that world. Go ahead and take a 6-month break and go watch all the movies and everything, and then come back and we can keep talking. Anyway, in addition to having the meetups and coordinating all of those and getting some trivia nights together, one of my biggest things I would love to do if I get the fan count is to offer up some special prizes. There's a really cool Barnes & Noble near me, which is like a bookstore, and it's got some really awesome Harry Potter memorabilia in there, and I'd love to be able to raffle those off and give them to the fans. One of my biggest things that I'm a huge supporter, I'm a huge proponent to giving back to the fans and those that support you. And I know Trainer Tips does that all the time. And so if I get a big enough follower count and there's enough of you interested in doing something like that, as long as I'm able to do it, that's the goal. I'd love to be able to give back to you all and say thank you for following me on this journey and supporting me as we do this together. Even though the story's over and Rowling might not put out any more books or anything like Past the Cursed Child, Pottermore is constantly updating with original canon, additional background about all the characters. So I'd like to be discussing that a little bit with you as well. And another thing, for those of you that are actually interested, if you would like to go into a more in-depth discussion or analytical kind of back and forth questioning on any specific things in Harry Potter, whether it's books versus movies, some of the episodes I'd like to do where I'm comparing book to movie. One episode would be book 1 versus book 1 versus movie 1, where I go through and I just have previously written down all my thoughts and comparisons and likes and dislikes and discuss them with you. Something like, in the Goblet of Fire, when Michael Gambon is Dumbledore and he shakes Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? I'm not going to say anymore. You all know what I'm talking about. Or even at the end of Goblet of Fire, where they're telling Harry he's wrong and Voldemort didn't come back, and we're all sitting there wondering, why didn't they just pull his memory out and stick it in a pensieve, and then they could all look and see, hey, that he really was back. There's my memory. Kind of like how, hey, at the end of book 3, I did see Peter Pettigrew. Here he was. Of course, I know those memories could have been tampered with by Dumbledore, or anything could have happened. Harry could have been, you know, not had a real memory or anything. But you know, if you'd like to talk about those, if I get enough people interested that are looking to actually go into that kind of conversation, you know, that'd be awesome. I'm also planning a trip to Harry Potter World in Orlando Studios next year sometime, hopefully. I've been there one time, and it was only for one day, and it's not enough. I mean, it was so amazing. The escape from Hogwarts, the ride, Honeydukes, the shop. When I go there, I'm definitely going to drop another $100, which I did last time, and it was awesome because the candy and stuff in there is just it's amazing. You know, the train ride back and forth from Hogwarts and the shadow scenes that are on there. It's just an awesome experience. And for those of you that have been, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that haven't been, you cannot imagine how amazing this world is that you'll get to experience. I mean, just thinking of getting ready to read a Harry Potter book or putting on the first movie, when you hear the music and when you watch him on the scene find out he's a wizard, that's just this magical, amazing feeling. You're escaping into this separate world where almost anything is possible. And I just love that about Harry Potter. When my daughter was 2, I taught her how to hold a wand and say Lumos, and then I'd turn the lights on. And she loved it. She thought that was the coolest thing ever. And just to watch her eyes light up because she thought she was magic, I'm so excited for my kids to be old enough to start reading Harry Potter and getting into it with them and just helping them learn everything about it and hoping that they share my excitement for it as well. Like I said, my goal over the next few months is going to be exploring the world of Harry Potter with all of you until the game actually comes out. Like I said, the books and movie comparisons, those analytical conversations. You know, if that's something you're interested in doing, please post in the comments sections and we'll go from there. You know, right now, I don't have any follower count, so the likelihood of me, you know, responding and having live conversation back and forth in the comments is gonna be greater right now, definitely. If you want to get into that really in-depth analytical stuff, I can do a live stream and answer questions and go back and forth like that. You know, I'm hoping to be able to get through all 7 books and 8 movies by the time the game comes out. That was my original plan. This was back a few months ago when I started thinking about opening this channel, and you know, just didn't have the time. I know the video game does come out in a couple of months only, so I may not be able to get through everything, but as we journey through the game together, I'll still continue to do the content videos outside of just the game itself. But you know, I'm hoping to have all the new content posted on my channel as soon as it's all released, so any more trailers or anything as the game comes out. If I don't have it first, I guarantee Trainer Tips will have it. And so if he has it right away and I'm following him, I'll have it on right after him if I don't have it at the same time. If you don't follow him, I'm going to see if I can add a link to his page below so that you can go ahead and subscribe to his page because his are amazing. I definitely recommend his channel. It's just awesome like I mentioned before. It's very tutorial-esque and you're in for a real treat there. Right now, most of his channel is just Pokemon Go related, but I know as Harry Potter gets closer, he's definitely going to be working twice as hard because he'll be putting out Pokemon Go content and he'll also be putting out Harry Potter content. So, you know, make sure to tune into his. His videos are very tutorial-esque and informative, and I'm hoping to be able to adapt that same stylistic approach to my own videos because in addition to having fun and exploring the Harry Potter world together, like I mentioned, I also want to make sure that I'm helping you learn how to play the game or how to have the most fun with the game because that's what it's about. It's a game, you know? So anyway, I think that about wraps it up for today. I'm looking forward to exploring this Harry Potter world with all of you, and I just can't wait to see what Warner Brother and Portkey Games actually come up with, what they have in store for us. I legitimately don't think I can wait a couple more months for this to come out. In the meantime, like I mentioned, I'm going to try to get some of those videos going and get some back and forth and get a follower count up to just take advice from you all. The things you'd like to see me post, things you'd like to see me share. You know, I'm assuming the base platform for this game is going to be similar to the Pokemon Go one, which if it is, then it's going to be awesome. I mean, Pokemon Go definitely had its faults and its downfalls in the beginning. But they've been continuing to develop it for 2 years, and they've figured out all the kinks and how to account for such a high follower base. And if you think Pokemon has a high follower base, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when Harry Potter first comes out, because there's going to be millions of people to download it right away. You know, if the Harry Potter game is anything like the release of Pokemon Go, it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be well worth the wait. Like I said, I'm hoping to explore the game with everyone. I'm hoping to find a dragon, a unicorn. You know, I wouldn't even mind being able to find a Niffler and bring that with me and get some awesome, you know, some really awesome treasures along the way. I'd love to battle a couple evil wizards if I'm being honest. I'd really like to get a big group together and just go smash out an Umbridge battle, because that woman is just pure evil. But tell me in the comments below what kind of beast you're hoping to find, what kind of things you'd like to do, what kind of battles you'd like to have. I really just want to get a group together and have fun and explore around the local area, maybe make some trips to different states and different cities, and just have a really good time with the game. I included a link below to the existing information that we have about the game already. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with any of this and just clicked on my video because I said Harry Potter or the word Muggle in it, just click on the link below and it'll help you learn a little bit more about what the game's going to do. I look forward to all of our conversations, and I look forward to taking this journey with you. I'm hoping to have my first content video up very soon. It might be on the first video, on the first book or movie comparison, or it might just be on Pottermore, or it could be on the previous game that's come out for Harry Potter already. For those of you that don't know, they did release a smaller platform, a more simplistic approach where you're just more going through your exams, and you're a specific character that your brother is lost, and you're exploring Hogwarts and trying to figure out what happened to him while you're also getting better at dueling and making friendships and learning spells and creating potions. So I'll definitely have a couple dedicated videos to that game specifically, but for now I've got tons of homework to do. Editing, learning how to get everything ready for my channel to make sure that my content and the quality of my content and the whole channel itself is just best for the viewers. For those of you who are artistic, I don't have a logo yet for my channel, so if anyone wants to drop some art or anything like that, I'd be happy to look at it and maybe pick a couple out and get your help and your opinion on what would look good. So, send me your ideas for the Mugglewatch Weekly logo. After all, I just want to make sure everything's enjoyable for you all, because that's why I'm doing this. It's just for fun. It's for us to have fun and share our love for the wizarding world, and make some friends along the way. So thanks for joining me today, and until next time on Mugglewatch Weekly, this is Tori signing out. Thanks.